Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for July 19th, 2022. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Mr. Marufo, would you call our first case?
Top of page 1, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2021 0D02001 and 2021 0D03123, State of Texas versus Salvador Manuel Anchondo. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
And good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Vasquez representing Mr. Anchondo. Judge, we have a plea agreement, and I do have the plea papers signed on 3123. That is the burglary of building, and it's going to be reduced to a criminal trespass. He's going to get 2 years TDC on the aggravated assault, and I don't know if I misplaced those plea papers, or I don't know why I don't have them. And my understanding is the harassment of a public servant was going to be dismissed. But we're ready to, I just need to get the plea papers on the aggravated assault signed and filed with the court, and we're ready to plead. And I apologize for not having that done now.
Okay. Are you available for an in-person plea on Thursday?
This Thursday? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll get you scheduled Thursday morning, I would say 11 a.m. Maybe we can track down, I may, if they're that far, if they've been around for a while, I might have them somewhere, but it'd take me a minute to find them.
I haven't gotten those ones signed yet, Judge. I haven't sent anything to the court,
okay.
so this is on me.
Okay, understood. Well, then we'll see you Thursday. We'll reset the final hearing plea deadline, anticipating we'll take care of that plea on Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. We'll get it done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marufo. If you'll arrange for transport, please.
Yes, Judge.
You have anything else, Mr. Vasquez?
No, I don't, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may. Who's
Thank
next?
you very much.
Mm-hmm.
In cause number 2021 0D03072, State of Texas versus Angel Alexis Arias. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Greg Anderson on behalf of Mr. Arias, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Good morning. Final hearing plea deadline, Ms. Rago.
Your Honor, we're close to an agreement. Can we have a reset for about 2 weeks?
Judge, there's medical conditions involving my client, which I think, which in light of the fact that we're on Zoom, I don't really want to go into detail, but it's mental health issues. And those are the things that I'm discussing with Ms. Rago, which were ultimately kind of the source of why this event took place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have an understanding as to what likely we're going to need to do with the case.
Okay, so then we will reset you for August 2nd. I hate to put you down for, another trial if we're not really there. But
if it were up to me, I'd prefer that it not be on the trial docket. But I'll leave that up to you. On August 2nd, though, I am at least currently scheduled for a civil trial in Bastrop, Texas, outside of Austin.
Okay.
So if we could either take it off the trial docket or put it on a different week, I would appreciate it.
Sure. So I don't have a problem with doing a 30-day, I guess like a 30-day reset for a status, but then I want to quickly put it on a trial track, meaning within this year, in 2022, if we're headed there. Doesn't sound like it, but I hate to leave things without trial when we've already had it set. So we'll come back in 30 days. At that point, we'll decide whether we need to get a trial track going for this year or not.
Thank you, Your Honor. I apologize. The complaining witnesses were supposed to come in yesterday at 4 o'clock and they canceled on me. And so they were supposed to come in today at 4:15. And so that's why this got delayed.
Let me ask, is whatever is kind of in the works in a sense, is it worth bringing you back on Thursday? Is there are we talking about, we might have a dismissal after your meeting today? Because if so, then I just assume set it for Thursday.
Can you give me at least a week, Your Honor, just to make sure in case they cancel on me again, just because they had canceled on me?
No worries. We'll do the 30 days. Do what you need to do.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. We'll come back in 30 days.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Take care. Who's next?
On page 2, Judge.
Mhm.
Towards the bottom.
Mhm.
in cause number 2021-0D03227, State of Texas versus Arleth Ramirez. Announcement of council, please.
Cora King for the state of Texas.
Charles Roberts for the defense.
All right, final hearing plea deadline. What's the rec?
Your Honor, there, at the moment, the rec is off because there is a new case, date of office, June 16, for a possession, I apologize, possession controlled substance, fentanyl, between 1 gram, less than 4 grams, and a second count of tampering. And I am waiting for those 2 cases to actually be presented.
Ms. Hernandez, can you please, I show this person being on PR bond. Can you please get with PR bond to get me a report on Arleth Ramirez, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Roberts, you also had filed a motion for continuance. I think this is it the same basis as the others, the vacation certificates?
Yes, sure.
Okay,
And I'm unaware of the new case.
okay. Well, it's June 16th, yeah, who knows? I haven't looked into that either, but I will get a report from PR Bond. So if you're in touch with your client, we're gonna have some issues. I would like to though, obviously, state's position on the motion for continuance.
Not opposed, Your Honor.
So we'll reset this trial, Mr. Roberts, with all the settings leading up to trial. Just know that there might be a PR issue, okay?
I got that idea.
Mr. Marufo, did Ramirez check in yesterday?
Yes, she did,
Oh.
Judge.
Okay, so might not be that bad. All right, we'll look into it, Mr. Roberts. Other than that, we'll get you new trial settings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Who's next?
On page 3, Judge, middle of page 3,
Mhm.
in cause number 2020-0D02042, State of Texas versus Virginia Velasquez. Announcement of council, please.
Cora King for the state of Texas.
Cesar Lozano on behalf of Virginia Velasquez.
Okay, so final hearing plea deadline, but if memory serves, isn't this co-defendant to Mr. Philemon Sanchez? And this one had kind of been lingering. What are we doing, Ms. King?
Your Honor, I have a recommendation. Last time it was the 5 years deferred. I meant to actually update it, but it is a 2 years deferred.
Okay. Mr. Lozano?
Well, I mean, I'll talk to her about it, but, you know, asking her to plea on something that was going to get dismissed with the defendant's actions is kind of a tough sell, I think, on my side, Your Honor.
Ms. King, that seems to be the court's recollection as well. Obviously, state can do what it wants, but was that, I felt like that was something that was represented even as of the end of last year on Ms. Velasquez's case. If it's changed, that's fine. But I feel like that was kind of why her case was still hanging around, was just dependent on Mr. Sanchez's case.
Your Honor, I do remember that. Also, I do see the notes from the last ADA, and I do remember, I believe I mentioned it as well. If I can just have to the end of today to just confirm, and I can email Mr. Lozano.
Okay.
I have no problem honoring that.
Sure. So see what kind of all shakes out there, but for your purposes and your client's purposes, Mr. Lozano, we're set for trial this week. So totally understand if your client doesn't want to take the rec, but we are going to trial. Is there anything outstanding?
No, Judge.
Any labs, anything like that? Anything that's still required a hearing?
No, Judge. The only thing is that I am positive for COVID right now. So
Where's Mr. Carmona? Because technically he's the one listed on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
South Carolina, I think.
So I
Again,
think
Judge, we were anticipating a dismissal, to be honest.
I understand. And so my point is this: if as of Thursday, we don't have a dismissal and your client is not inclined to plea, please file your motion for continuance on Thursday. Okay? Ándale pues. Thank you very much. Actually, Myrna, on this one, if you will put it for a reset, a Zoom reset for Thursday, so I can make sure and check in with everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Who's next?
On page 4, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2021-0D00742, State of Texas versus Claudio Gonzalez. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Roggenbath, the state's ready, Your Honor.
John Williams for Claudio Gonzalez. Ready, Your Honor. Judge, I had filed a motion to withdraw, and speaking to my client, who I believe is logged on or should be logged on, he's asked me to withdraw from representing him in this matter.
Okay, let's bring him in. Let me see. Motion to withdraw filed yesterday. Okay. You were appointed, Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see. Myrna, can you tell me if Mr. Gonzalez had a previous court-appointed attorney? No, Mr. Williams, you've been the. looks
I've
like-
been with him since he was locked up, Judge.
Sure, I see that. Okay. All right. And I'm sorry, Ms. Rago, what is the rec?
Right now, it's 4 deferred, Your Honor.
For deferred. And before on the withdrawal, before we get to the withdrawal, Mr. Williams, has your client been communicated that rec, and has he rejected it, or what's going on?
I think he's rejected it, Judge. We were talking about it yesterday, and then in the middle of our discussions, Mr. Gonzalez asked me to withdraw.
All right, for purposes of the record, Claudio Gonzalez, the accused in this case, is appearing remotely. Mr. Gonzalez, would you please unmute?
Yes.
Sir, would you state your name and date of birth for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Claudio Gonzalez. My date of birth is August 13th, 2001.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, I have before me Mr. Williams' motion to withdraw as counsel. Are you aware that the current offer from the state of Texas is 4 years of deferred adjudication?
Yes, I am aware, Your Honor.
And had you made a decision to reject that offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Rago, well, let me ask, Mr. Williams, anything outstanding? It's an ag assault deadly weapon. Anything outstanding that required a hearing from your perspective?
No, Your Honor. No, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So I'm not quite sure what the issue is. Had you been able to communicate with him consistently, Mr. Williams? No issues there?
No, he's very good about calling, Judge. Our contact has been good.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grant your motion to withdraw at this time. Mr. Gonzalez, it is on the eve of trial, which means that you know, anyone I reappoint is generally not going to be ready to go to trial. So that means I'm going to have to move your trial date. Are you in agreement, disagreement? You're understanding that by joining this request or asking this attorney to not be your attorney anymore, it pushes your trial date back. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do understand that.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you to mute very quickly. I'm going to see if I can get you another attorney. Mr. Williams, if you don't have anything else out pending for today, then you're good to go. Do you have any other cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Mr.
Thank
Hernandez,
you.
can you message me the next 5 attorneys, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, don't go anywhere. We'll be right
Yes, Your
with you. Just mute.
I'll be here.
All right, who's next? And we'll come back to Mr. Gonzalez.
Mr. Underwood, are you here for Gonzalez Carlos?
Yes, I am.
Okay, on page 1, Judge, bottom of page 1.
Okay,
In cause number 2020-0D00882, State of Texas versus Carlos Gonzalez. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Justin Underwood on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez, we're ready as well, Judge.
Ms. Rago, what's the rec?
It's 2 clean UAs or a 1244B, Your Honor, credit for time served.
And we are going to take the 1244B credit for time served. He is, I think I told Ms. King this last time, he's a patient in New Mexico. He's had a card for quite some time. And so he's not going to be able to, he and some of my other friends are not going to be able to hang out with the Texas Probation Department for very long. So we're going to do the time served on the B, Judge.
Mr. Underwood, I don't know, do you already have plea papers, Ms. Rago? Have you sent them?
We don't, and for some reason we did talk about this June 23rd, but we as of right now we don't have any plea papers.
Can I put you at 1 week for a plea, or do you need 2 weeks?
Oh no, I don't think. However much time the DA's office needs, Judge, I don't think we need much time.
I'll get it to you by the end of the day.
Okay.
Mr. Underwood, I'm going to go ahead and set your client for 1 week out. If you think whatever, client's not available and need another week, just let us know ahead of time so we can get you reset.
Sure, Judge, no problem. Appreciate you guys.
There.
Bye, guys. Good to see you, Samantha.
Bye, good to see you.
Okay. Who's next?
Sorry, Judge. Top of page 2, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2017-0D06382 and 2022-0D00206, State of Texas versus Brenda Guillen. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Cesar Lozano on behalf of Brenda Guillen, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, probation status. Give me a second. I'm trying to multitask. There's Miss Guillen. Where is Carla here? Who's handling this case, probation status?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Let me get to the there it is. Let me get to the summary.
Your Honor, we're kind of just pending disposition of the pending new injury to a child case.
Ms. King, where is that? I remember Ms. Guillen's situation. I think we had a bond hearing on her. Do we know anything, or who's handling this one? I'm sorry.
It's me, Your Honor.
Okay, sorry about that.
Let's see. Currently the recommendation's 3 deferred on the injury to a child, Your Honor.
On the new case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Lozano?
Yeah, Judge, we're currently considering that, or at least in communication with our client regarding that. But one of the things that was holding us up was there was a theft of service out there somewhere, and it was a P-file number. Nobody can find it. I contacted the county attorney's office, and they said it's not theirs.
Is there an agency, do you know, that's attached to it? Like, have we looked it up that way? Maybe DA's office can look it up. And if it's something that DA's or someone has looked at, maybe we can just wrap it up in whatever plea we're gonna do if that's where we end up.
Yes, Your Honor. So it looks like it was EPPD. I don't have any notes on it. I will send an email right now to see what the status is.
What's the PD case number?
Let's see. Sorry, I went back.
Sure.
It's 2202-2098.
So it's a 2022 case. So we may need to look at that. Let's see, Ms. Guillen. So we have our final hearing plea deadline on the new case in August. I just assume get an update from you all then. Carla, I see the recommendation is to just modify her or get her screened for a different caseload. So just know, Mr. Lozano, it's the family preservation caseload. If we end up at a plea, that's probably what we're looking at. But obviously, yeah, we got to find out what's going on with that outstanding case. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so we'll see you at that next hearing. We'll carry the probation case with the trial case.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Got it. Oh, Mr. Lozano, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so I just got a dismissal on Ms. Velasquez.
Okay.
I do apologize for that.
No worries, Ms. King. Thank you for doing it quickly. Signing off on it right now. So I don't remember if we set it for something else, that'll take care of it.
Thank you.
All right. Hope you feel better.
Mr.
Who's next?
Mr. Lozano has a final judges conference on page 5, Judge.
Okay, let's go there.
Page 5.
Mhm.
Because number 2021-0D00203, State of Texas versus Precious Walking Eagle. Announcement of council, please.
Laura King for the state of Texas.
Cesar Lozano on behalf of Precious Walking Eagle, ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Montes here by any chance? He may have requested a continuance. I don't remember on his
He was
hearing.
running late, Judge.
Okay, well, let's take care of it so Mr. Lozano can get out of here. Let's see, final judges, and we're set for trial in August as well. This has always been a trial, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
Judge, we, at least, on my end, for my client, we anticipate presenting a mitigation packet to the DAs to try to negotiate this as much as possible. And hopefully before August, we will have some sense. If not, this is definitely it's a tough case. So trial may be inevitable.
Okay, so we have that. Ms. King, what's the rec?
Your Honor, on it's going to be 15 years TDC. I do have out-of-state witnesses.
15 TDC. I'm just trying to make sure. I know you all are not specially set, but we have reset it a couple of times. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now. Just leave the settings as is and then see what happens. Obviously, Mr. Lozano, if you have something for that's it's a big wreck. So if you have something compelling, please send it quickly so we know where we are. If not, likely, I think there's a decent chance that we would have to find you all a special setting. If the state has out-of-town witnesses, things like that, I don't want to leave you with a batch of, 10 other cases to see if you go. I'd rather get you a special setting. So, God, I don't want to wait till August. God, that's just not very far away. Bueno, we'll see you in August. We'll leave it like that.
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty, thank you very much. Now, is that everything for Mr. Lozano?
I believe so, Judge.
Okay, take off, Cesar. Hope you feel better. All right, next.
Top of page 4, Judge. Because number 2019-0D03525, State of Texas versus Bryant Gamma. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rock on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Manuel Parra from Mr. Gama, also ready.
Okay, give me one second. Okay, so I was just trying to check here. It's listed as a motion to recall Capias. Did you file a motion to recall or a motion to set bond, Mr. Parra?
Your Honor, we had requested a bond hearing. Mr. Gama was to surrender himself, which he did. He's currently in custody, Judge.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Your Honor. So the
Oh,
warrant
there.
is issued.
Okay, okay. Yeah, the docket didn't reflect he was in custody, but it does show on Odyssey. All right, and he has, okay, so he has no bond. Let me look at the motion. Or Carla, do you have some info on Mr. Gama? It looks like we had a motion for early discharge last year, and then what, he ran into some trouble or what? What happened? Oh, he picked up an assault, family violence in November.
Which I'm still not seeing any sign of, Judge. Ms. Rago, I'm not sure if you.
I have
may
an
have
update,
something.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
So I show from the incident that was November 16, 2021, the case was declined on May 6, 2022. And I believe it was because the CW requested non-pros, Your Honor.
Understood.
Okay. And then we have some technicals failing to report March 2022. Was he in custody? March, April? I'm not looking at you. I feel like.
No,
he's-
Your Honor.
Mhm.
I don't believe he was, Judge. Now, in speaking to the probation department, they did let me know that for a while there, they had been requesting that he submit a UA. You may recall, Your Honor, that you had granted Mr. Gama some permission to work in New Mexico. And he was in New Mexico. He says, I'm not able to just go all of a sudden. And I think that might have led to some back and forth miscommunications, Judge, with the probation department. But
So let me get to the case summary, or Carla, if you want to chime in there. You know, obviously, my bigger concern, Mr. Barra, is going to be those failures to report. Ultimately, rather than looking at a bond per se, I just assume try and figure out what the problem is and adjust it. Let me get to the case summary. Carla?
Yes, John, I apologize. I was muted right now.
You what? You were
I was
on mute?
Talking to myself.
Aw, so now you're ready because you practiced.
So I know you all just discussed that offense, the assault, and I had been trying to find it. I just listened to Ms. Rago that it was dismissed, but I did send you the offense report just so you can read it for yourself, Judge. As far as a year ago when we were here, it was for an early discharge, and since there had been prior not reporting issues, non-compliance with reporting, you had him let us know to come back at a later time, but Mr. Gama was to comply. As Mr. Parra did state, there were referrals for him to go in and test, which he failed to do so. He also has a 150-day ACOP, and he still has 56 days remaining from what was court ordered. And we do have failure to report for March and April and June of 2022. Now, if you give me a minute, I do want to double check on what Mr. Parra stated about allowing Mr. Gama to leave to work. I don't recall. I don't see that on the probation officer's summary, Judge, and I don't recall that last year. So I'm just trying to read that note really quick, if I may.
So he has 150, I'm sorry, was it 150 days ACOP? Is that what you said, Carla?
Yes, it was 150 and he has 56 days remaining.
How has he been completing the ACOP days?
Your Honor, he had been doing it by way of work release, Judge. At
Okay.
some point, obviously everything was at a standstill and they were no longer accepting people.
Mhm.
And that's what kept him from continuing his time, Judge.
What's going on, Mr. Parra, with your client? Is he, okay, so he's in custody.
Right, Judge. He wanted to turn himself in, Judge. I let him know that it was best for the purpose of addressing the warrant and perhaps a bond. Of course, he's wanting to remain on probation, wanting to stay compliant. And as far as his permission to work in New Mexico, I think that was early on in his probation, Judge.
Where is he working? What is he doing? And how's that? I mean, is he still employed? What's going on?
He is still employed, Judge. Actually, he's been doing well in his job. It's my understanding he was promoted or at least was given more responsibility. You may recall, Judge, he transports ice. And so this requires him to travel throughout the state. and it's definitely the season for that. And he's very, very busy, Judge. Now, he also recently had a son. His son is about 4 months old, Judge. And I know that's kind of caused some excitement. And it's my understanding that at least one of those times that he wasn't able to go do with the UA, it was related to his son's health, Judge. But he's just trying to do what he can to do well on probation, to do well for his family.
Your Honor, if I may, what I see is early on when he did plead to probation, he was going through the interstate compact. But at some point, I'm not sure how he ended up back in El Paso. And as far as working, I don't see any documentation, Judge, about that.
I do recall the, at least a discussion or a mention of Mr. Gama having to go to New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm a little unclear now. He resides in El Paso. Is that where he resides?
Yes, Your Honor, that is my understanding, that he is here now in El Paso. He's no longer an interstate case.
So if you're still asking for a bond, Mr. Parra, I'll go ahead and do that. My thought is this, though, with Mr. Gama, now that we know whatever this outstanding AFV is, it's not outstanding. But so we have some compliance issues. I am of the opinion that he needs to just go ahead while he is booked now and complete his ACOP days. It's a lot of ACOP days, which tells me possibly that, you know, there was some accommodation either in terms of a deferred plea or maybe the time of probation.
Your Honor, what it was, Judge, is he had a misdemeanor assault family violence. The recommendation there called for several days in jail, actually 180. And County Court 2 was unwilling to allow him to do work release. And so what we did is instead had him do the jail time as ACOP in this case, Judge, correct. But it wasn't because of any issue on probation. It was more so to resolve the misdemeanor in a way that would allow for him to not have to stay in custody continuously.
Understood. And so I think I'm still of the same mindset. So kind of big picture for me, I mean, my thought was to tack on an additional 30 days ACOP, but to me, he needs to stay in, complete his ACOP days. And if there's some lack of clarity with respect to his ability to travel for work purposes, you know, if it wasn't there before, I certainly will grant that. I'm also okay with leaving him on probation. I am concerned about this, you know, allegation in November, but if it's been dumped, well, so be it. The recommendation also, in terms of the probation recommendation, is to have him attend BIP. And then, of course, we need to have him to report. So if I'm going to be allowing him to be out of El Paso for work purposes, he needs to continue to report. So in terms of his bond will be a $50,000 cash surety bond. I want him to do his ACOP days, Mr. Parra. I just want him to complete the ACOP days. I know it might be a burden financially for him and his family, but we need to get those done.
And Your Honor, he was previously allowed to do them with work release, Judge, so that he would be able to not only be with his family, but continue to work, Your Honor. Is that something that you would allow as well? And again, Judge, the only reason he stopped doing that is because he wasn't able to anymore.
Yeah, I don't see Judge.
I'm sorry? No, Mr. Parra, he's gonna do the days straight. He's really not receiving any other sanction. You know what I'm saying? He's not receiving any other sanction for these failures to report. What this kind of looks like to me is there's a lot of smoke in different areas, and it does bring me concern that we have a problem. But I'm willing to work with him in terms of leaving him on probation and protecting that deferred status, but he's going to do his days. And
Understood, Your Honor.
so no additional days. He's just going to do the original days ACOP. He is to report to probation immediately. He will be modified to require that he take BIP. And whatever the testing protocol has been, he needs to follow that.
Understood,
I'm gonna work with him, Mr. Parra, in terms of him being able to continue on probation and work and do all that, but he needs to know that he needs to be reporting. That's a problem. But let's clear it all up, right? Let's clean this all up. Let's make sure we don't have these outstanding issues. No, we know there's no new case. He's gonna do his days, and then we'll get him back on track with those modifications, Ms. Pineda. Mr. Parra,
Your
if
Honor.
you need to come back, hold on one second. If you need to come back on something else, please file something so we can get you scheduled, preferably if he's still in jail at the jail slot, okay? Ms. Carla, go ahead.
It was me, Your Honor, sorry. I'm showing that Mr. Gama has 85 days credit on his ACOP. So if it was 150 ordered, that leaves 65, not 56. I'm not sure where the 56 came from, but it would be 65 days.
Okay. So I mean, and I recognize too, Mr. Parra, he's been working at it. So that bodes in his favor. Let's just get our days done. Carla, thank you, Marissa. Carla, were you gonna say something?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Oh, okay, sorry. Like I said, Mr. Parra, if you need something else, let us know. We'll get you scheduled, okay?
Understood, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, let me go back to Mr. Gonzalez. All right, on Mr. Claudio Gonzalez, Myrna, if we're not able to get in touch with Mr. Moore, let's have the public defender. Does Mr. Gonzalez have a co-defendant by any chance? Make sure we don't have any conflicts or anything.
Yes, Your Honor, there's a few.
Do any of those, I would imagine, probably have public defenders or no?
I'm not sure. Let me try to pull it up.
Yeah, let me.
Not the co-defendant. The co-defendant has Russell Abu, Judge.
Okay, so let's appoint Mr. Gonzalez. We're going to go ahead and appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Myrna, let's get him on a new trial track. But for this year, let's do it for 2022 because this case has been outstanding for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Mr. Gonzalez, the attorney from the public defender's office will be in contact with you. Please make sure, I don't know if we have any contact information on you, but in any event, you'll have a new attorney for the next setting and a new trial date. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And continue to check in with the court as you have been via Zoom, okay?
Will do, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. All
Thank
righty.
you.
Okay,
Am
who's
I
next?
good to go, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bottom of page 2, Judge. In cause number 2021 0D03010, State of Texas versus Lewandowski, Slovenias. Announcement of council, please.
Roa King for the state of Texas.
John Slattering for the defense.
Final hearing plea deadline. I'm sorry, who has this case?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, it's going to be 5 years deferred.
Okay. Mr. Slattery?
We were hoping that we could maybe get a brief continuance to try and work out maybe something a little less than 5 years deferred, if at all possible.
Okay, did you file a motion?
No, we haven't filed a motion. To be honest, I'm caught a little off guard here. Mr. Ortiz is stuck in federal court. I was just, I don't think that our client is ready to accept the offer as it stands. So I was just hoping that if we could get a little more time to try and work something out a little bit lower.
Okay, I did see your client kind of logged in here. Is it Sylvanus? Mr. Lewandowski Sylvanus is here. I don't know if he can hear me. Does he speak English? Mr. Sylvanus, you're muted. So if you're telling me something, you need to unmute.
Yes, I can hear you, Your Honor.
Okay, so we are here for a final hearing plea deadline. The state has offered 5 deferred. We are set for trial this Friday. and counsel is requesting additional time for negotiations. Are you understanding that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court, Ms. King, is there any opposition to a continuance?
No, Your Honor.
So Mr. Slattery, you need to file a motion, okay? Have it filed this week. The court is granting defense motion for continuance. I'm not going to do a quick reset of the trial. What I'll do is get you further down the road, but it'll be in 2022. If there's anything outstanding, please file your motion and request your hearing via email, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, motion for continuance is granted. We'll get you new dates. Anything else?
Not for me, Your Honor, no.
All righty, thank you very much, Mr. Sylvanus. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. Who's next?
Bottom of page 3, Judge.
Mhm.
In cause number 2020-0D0-3206, State of Texas versus Armando Gonzalez Erives. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
I believe that's you, Mr. Slattery, again, or there's Mr. I don't know who's logging in. Did Mr. Slattery leave?
I think so.
Oh, there's Mr. Moore. Myrna, let's go ahead and not appoint PDs. We'll appoint Mr. Moore. He's logging in.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you. I'll let him know so he can. Mr. Moore, how are you?
Good, Judge, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for logging in. However, I appointed you on something and the gentleman just left. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
hoping to kind of get you guys overlapped. I'll give you the cause number 2021-0D0-0742, Claudio Gonzalez. It's an ag assault deadly weapon, 4 deferred. Previous counsel was John Williams and he rejected the 4 deferred. I'm going to get him set for trial this year because there was nothing outstanding as I know it, but if something changes, you let us know, okay?
Yes, Judge, I'll get in touch with you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Appreciate you logging in.
Thank you, Judge. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so this was, sorry, who was this next one? Mr. Rivas?
Mr. Erives, Judge.
Do we have an attorney?
I don't see him. I think he logged off. But he is in
He's in his office, so.
in his office.
Yeah, he's in Ortiz's office, but where's Mr. Slattery or Mr. Ortiz? Mr. Rivas, where's your attorney? Are they there in the office? Or maybe he doesn't speak English. Let's go to the next one.
Middle of page 2, Judge.
Uh-huh.
In cause number 2019-0D0-4973, State of Texas versus Rainier Perez Guzman. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Hi, Judge Ruben Hernandez, from Mr. Guzman. Judge, the offer is to do, the offer is 100 hours community service, an animal welfare class and anger management class for a dismissal. So,
Wait. How quickly can we do it?
we're working on that, Judge. I'm sorry, Judge.
So I'm gonna set it 6 months out. I'm just
Okay.
gonna set it for, I mean, you don't have, it's a 2019
Just a
case.
dismissal, Judge?
Huh?
Yeah, we could just set it for dismissal hearing maybe, and he'll have that done by then.
Mhm. Okay, so we'll do 6 months out. We'll look at December. I'm not gonna forego a trial date. I know we're not there, but I want to keep track of it so we can do a final hearing plea deadline dismissal. We'll send you something for the early December, Ruben, okay?
Okay, Judge. Okay, Judge, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Take care. Who's next?
You too, Judge. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm sorry, you lost me way too early. I can stick around till the end of the docket, or I can jump in now if you don't mind, whatever is.
Yeah, we had called Mr. Rivas's case, so let's go back to that one.
In cause number 2021-0D0-30, apologize, Judge. In cause number 2020-0D0-3206, State of Texas versus Armando Gonzalez Erives. Announcement of counsel, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
John Slider for the defense.
And Mr. Rivas is also appearing remotely. We are set for final hearing plea deadline, and yesterday there's a motion for continuance. Is this, let me see it, hold on. What are the conditions for dismissal?
Your Honor, it's a drug and alcohol awareness class for 16 hours, $400 donation to the food bank, 4 hours of anger management class.
Okay, Mr. Slattery, how long for your client to complete that?
Because he's working, he hasn't been able to sort of do them all in one fell swoop. I would ask for maybe another 2 weeks to get that complete.
2 weeks? Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, obviously it's a joint agreed motion. I am going to grant that motion. He is also going to be set early December. Myrna, can I ask, I keep saying early December. Do we have a good date? I'm going to just put this on a new trial track. And with those interim settings, Mr. Slattery, whenever your client is done, obviously provide proof to the state. They can send me their dismissal.
Okay.
Let me check on the new trial date.
It looks like December 2nd, Judge.
Okay, let's do that. December 2nd. So you'll get a new slate of dates, you know. Hopefully, if he does it in 2 weeks, we have a dismissal in 2
Maybe
weeks.
2 weeks is a little optimistic.
I think so. That's okay. All right. Thank you for that.
I appreciate it, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rivas. You're excused. Who's next?
Page 9, bottom of page 9, Judge.
All right.
In cause number 2020-0D0 5788 and 2022 0D0 2344, State of Texas versus Marcus Jerome Peoples. Announcement of council, please.
Well, I came for the state of Texas.
Ms. Nava? Did we lose Miss Nava?
She was there.
Okay, maybe we come back to Miss Nava. Who's next? I see Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is probably here on Zulena Brown.
Yes, Judge. Page 1.
Take care of that one. Mr. Hernandez, if you're ready. And then Mr. Spencer is here on who?
He's on an arraignment.
Oh, okay. So let's take care of Mr. Hernandez and maybe we'll take a 5-minute break unless we get oh, there's Miss Nava. Let's go with Mr. Hernandez. I want to hear about Miss Brown.
In cause number 2020 0D0 2497 and 2020 0D0 1208, State of Texas versus Zulena Elaine Brown. Announcement of council, please.
Samantha Rogg on behalf of the state. State's ready, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, you're muted.
Sorry, Your Honor.
That's okay.
Good morning, Your Honor, counsel. Your Honor, I met with my client last week. She was singing. She was playing with an imaginary basketball. She is clearly not competent at this point. I filed a motion to have her evaluated for competency. Anticipate it'll get transferred to the 384th Competency Court.
I just saw that. The motion was filed yesterday. So Myrna, we'll go ahead and transfer Miss Brown. I'm sad to hear that. Okay. Bueno, it is what it is. So we'll see her when we get her back.
Yes, Your Honor. My excuse, Your Honor.
Yeah, you don't have anything else?
That's it for me, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Let's take care of Miss Nava and then we'll take our break.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Go ahead and call it. Where is she?
In cause number 2020 0D0 5788 and 2022 0D0 2344, State of Texas versus Marcus Jerome Peoples. Announcement of council, please.
King for the state of Texas.
Alyssa Nava on behalf of Mr. Peoples, Your Honor.
Okay, so we have probation status on the old case, arraignment on the new case. I mean, I just assumed track. I'm sorry, were you saying?
The waiver of arraignment has been signed and filed.
Okay. Let me see what, I was reading the summary before we lost you. Okay. 30-day reset, he's been screened for BHRTC and is eligible. Is this all his cases? There's nothing else outstanding?
No, Your Honor, that should be it.
Okay. All right, then. It looks like we were talking about BHRTC. Ms. Nava, have you talked to your client?
Yes, I have, and he does want to do BHRTC and then stay on probation.
Okay.
I don't know how the state wants to resolve the other case. I mean, we'd ask that maybe they dismiss it and put him back on probation, or we reduce it, give him credit for time served, but we haven't had an offer.
Okay, so the new case is set for trial in March of 2023. Probation case will track the new case. Looks like we're kind of headed towards BHRTC, but if something is different, Ms. King, no worries, we'll work with it. We've got our new case. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Nava. Okay.